It's Jonathan Agger, Fifth Pro Boxing Fans, joined by the Cobra himself, Froch, here at the Usyk Joshua press conference ahead of August 20, the rematch in Saudi Arabia. Carl, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Are you here working for any outlets today?
Yeah, I'm doing a little bit for the BBC, 5 Live Radio. Big reach, a lot of people listening to that. Millions of listeners. I'm not in the 80,000 anymore. I'm in the millions.
Millions. Love it. Carl, you've been involved in rematches before. Going into a rematch like this, what was your mindset going into, say, the Groves rematch? I know it's a different situation because you won the first fight by stoppage, but for Joshua, what would be his mindset going into this?
Yeah, you know what though, that first fight with Groves, it felt very much like a loss because I got beat up for 6 rounds. I got my head pasted all around the ring. I got dropped in round 1, then pummeled for the next 5 or 6 rounds. But yeah, I got the stoppage, I got the win. You know, timely intervention by the referee. And Howard Foster, top referee, one of the best in the business. He knows the game. But anyway, the rematch, I was in like a different headspace because I was chatting to a psychologist, Chris Marshall, and sort of just getting the brain simplified, separating logic from emotion, and just channeling my energy and my focus just on one thing at a time. So when I walked to the ring in front of 80,000 at Wembley, I was in the zone, mate. I felt a little bit like I was hypnotised, and I knew it was my last fight as well. I was the only one. Yeah, man. See you later. Derek Chisora there losing the plot. I'll call you, man. Yeah, man. Where was I? So yeah, on the ring walk for the Groves rematch, I was just focused, tunnel vision, one-track mind, seek and destroy, get the job done. And because I knew it was my last fight, because I knew I was retiring, I just thought, let's enjoy this. Let's just leave it all in the ring. I can't let my head hit the pillow and not have left everything in the ring, which I usually do most fights anyway. For most of my career, I made sure that I was leaving it all in the ring, energetic-wise. You know, all of my energy was used up during the fight. I didn't get out of the ring at round 12 and think I could have done more. Once I did that against Andre Ward, but Ward was too tricky. I couldn't catch him. Couldn't really get near him. I couldn't catch him with his shots. He was too tricky and awkward, and that was annoying. But the rematch was all about just getting the mind strong. I think it's really important for Anthony Joshua in this rematch to get his mind strong and be focused. And I think the biggest thing I'd say would be belief, self-belief. He's got to believe in himself, and I think he's lacked a bit of that since the Ruiz defeat. Not been that impressed with him. The rematch, he did what he needed to do to get the belts back, but he didn't show me anything that's like exceptional, anything that's going to beat Tyson Fury, anything that's going to beat someone like Usyk. And then he fight Pulev, and then he jumped in with Usyk, and he got conclusively outboxed for the whole of the fight, and then he got beat up in the last round. So what he needs to do in this fight is understand he's bigger, stronger, he's got more reach, you know, he's heavier, he's got all the physical attributes, but he needs to switch that computer brain on and start to believe in himself and start to get tactics engraved in there in this training camp. I don't agree that he's left Rob McRae. I don't agree that's a great decision, but that's only because I'm a little bit biased. I was with Rob my whole career, so maybe that comment's just a loyalty comment. But a change sometimes is really, really good, and it didn't work for him in the first fight with Rob McCracken for whatever reason. Him and Rob know what went off. They know why, and we're not going to talk about that. But I just think that the most important thing for Anthony Joshua is to get his head in gear, get his mindset strong, and believe in himself. And when he walks into that ring, believe in himself. When he looks at him in the middle of the ring, and when that first bell goes, still believe in himself, and just try and implement whatever tactics his new trainer's got, because they'll be the right tactics. They'll know how to beat Usyk: physical, size, strength, reach, and then a little bit of the boxing. But it might be rip up the script and just have a good old-fashioned passionate tear up, have a good scrap with him, lean on him, bully him, rough him up, get the head inside there, use his shoulder and his weight, push him back, get some distance, and work the body if you have to. If you can't hit his head, don't headhunt, work the body, lean on him, tire him out. But Usyk's a special talent, and he won't allow that. I tried it against Andre Ward. He's tricky and awkward, and he's out of the way, and his range is brilliant, his timing's awesome. So you can't say how to beat this guy Usyk. You can't sum it up in one sentence or one set of plans or rules. But if AJ can get his mind right, that's a step in the right direction.
If you think back to one fight that Anthony Joshua has employed those aggressive tactics, those tactics to win this fight, which fight would you look at? Would it be the Klitschko fight, the Pulev fight?
Not the Pulev fight. He went for it early with Pulev, then he gassed out after round 3. Then the only reason he got Pulev out of this because Pulev ran out of gas himself, because he's an old man. I think the Klitschko fight was a good example of the old Anthony Joshua. You know, he was winning that. Then he got put down. He got up and got the job done. Believed in himself and carried on punching away. But again, that's an old Klitschko. Dylan White caught him with a nice hook. Was it a left hook he caught AJ with? His legs were doing the dance, and AJ kept believing himself, recovered, got the job done. So, you know, the performance against Dylan White, the performance against Klitschko, that's the kind of stuff that gives you that belief and that sort of that home sort of, you become a seasoned professional when you go through them moments in a fight. And if you don't use them and draw on them every now and again in fights that you're losing, then you're stupid, because you should use them and go back into that and say, right, now I need to do this. Now I need to take a chance. I need to take a risk, get in range and throw 6-7 punch combination, and then lean on my opponent, push him back, and then go again and throw another 7 punches. It's all about conditioning then, isn't it? If mind can do what he wants, and our was his conditioning. He's usually fit and strong, AJ, but, you know, has he done the sparring? He's been guilty of not doing all the sparring in the past. He's been guilty of not doing what he needs to do to be 100% prepared for a fight. So if he's 100% physically ready, he just needs to get his head right. I can't really say much more on that.
I'll push you for a final prediction.
Yeah, I think Oleksandr Usyk's going to do the job. I just think that he's too good. Not just for Anthony Joshua. I think he's too good for anyone. I think he's proven that with his amateur career, with his reign at cruiserweight, and then what he's done in the heavyweight division. I thought he took his time with Derek Chisora, just played with him, got the rounds, did what he had to do, gave everybody else a false sense of security. Very clever. I wouldn't be surprised if he let Chisora get away with a few things in that fight, just to let people think that he's not that good at heavyweight. And then he got the AJ fight, and bloody hell, mate, he switched it up from the second gear to the third gear. I still think there's two or three more gears left to go with Usyk, and he's looking a bit strong. He's over my right shoulder now, and he's looking big and strong and frightening. I'm sure that hairdo's got something to do with a Ukrainian warlord or something like that. I mean, I wouldn't want to be jumping in the ring with him. I'd fancy it though, if I had to. You know I'm game.
Of course, and Carl, just 2 quick ones. Canelo against Golovkin, September 17th. You've always said you can't beat that clock. Time doesn't wait for anyone. Do you give Golovkin any chance in beating Canelo?
Time waits for no one. Of course I do. Golovkin's a great fighter, but Canelo's just lost a bivvy. So you just never know where he is mindset-wise now. It's a great fight. The first 2 were really close. I thought Golovkin won at least one of them. Maybe the second one, he won the second one. Didn't get a decision. So the third fight could go either way. But you're right, Triple G's getting old. And when you get old, you slow down a little bit and your reflexes go a little bit. Your punching power's still there, and he's a massive puncher, so he'll still have the bank. But it's still an exciting fight, but it's who wins? It's one of them. Who wins? Does it matter who wins? It's one of them. Canelo's just lost, and Golovkin's at the end of his end game. It's a great fight to watch. It's a great fight to be involved in, and it's a good fight for boxing. But I don't know.
Finally, August 6th, there was meant to be Jake Paul against Tommy Fury. We don't know if the fight's going to happen now. What was your feelings going into that as Usyk comes in?
Thank you.
Did you know how many people I boxed in front of at Wembley Stadium?
Sorry?
I boxed at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah.
Do you know how many people were there? Yeah, 80,000. 80,000.
I go on my ring. I watch.
I'm only joking.
God, it's my dream. Oh my God, my God. David, the greases, Alex.
He can speak English. Nice to see you. You'll have to send me that clip. I'll see it.
It'll be out there. And just wanted to ask you about Tommy Fury, Jake Paul. Did you have any thoughts on the fight?
No, not really. I mean, I think I'd like to think that Tommy Fury beats him, but Tommy's a novice pro, and I hope that a novice pro could beat a YouTuber. But Jake Paul's been doing all right. He's been fighting, doing the business, and looking good. So who knows? I hope Tommy Fury does it. I really do.
There you have it, Carl Froch. Thanks for talking to Pro Boxing fans. I appreciate it.